Hey guys, it's Simply Imaginary People, and we were asked to make a tutorial on making bows, knots, and pockets in MD. So first, ignore the crappy top, we'll go to pockets. So the easiest way to make a pocket is to go on MD and go to these ones that have like a grey background. These are internal shapes, and all we're going to do is we're going to make an internal shape where I want my pocket. And you'll see it appears here, so just gonna move that so it's kind of centered. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say clone as pattern and paste it somewhere. I'm just going to sew this side, and this side to it. And if I press play, you'll see I have a pocket, but it's a very close pocket, which is a bit annoying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this and I'm just going to scale it up a bit, just to make it a bit bigger. A bit bigger. It opens a bit. You can also scale it a bit wider. And you'll see then it opens up a bit. So that's how to make a really simple basic pocket. Of course, you can use the curve tool to curve the bottom of it. You want a curved pocket. Also, a pocket I like to do is just like a diagonal one that just kind of looks like the top of a pocket. And again, clone it as a pattern. And then you sew these edges. And you'll see it just kind of looks like a half pocket. Make sure you make these patterns layer 1 so they lay on top of your clothing. Little clip. This kind of just looks like a side pocket, like an internal pocket that just has a little rib. So yeah, that's pretty much the basics to making pockets. Knots, I literally have no idea how to make these in Blender. I've seen some tutorials on it, and it literally just involves a shitload of pinning and stuff. And I haven't managed to do it. So, what I would suggest is creating the knot yourself in Blender. So I'm going to try and do a fabric knot. So, okay, I'm going to freeze this. And then as an internal shape, I'm going to make a simple line, and I'm going to curve it out quite a bit. We'll see why. Right, then I'm going to make a square bit of fabric, which I am going to actually, I think I'm going to make it like kind of like this, like maybe the end of my fabric piece will be, and then I'm going to sew this to my bent rim. I'm going to let it play. Should move this a bit higher. There we go, it kind of just looks like the edge of fabric going out of a knot. That's kind of what I'm trying to look like. You'll see why later. And now I'm going to do the second one because I need to. Get it a bit big. Can always scale things here. That one like this maybe. And there we go. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete the top because I don't need that, and I'm going to export this, and you'll see where I'm going with it in a minute. Right, if I now go to the Blender file, right, I've made something that looks a bit like a knot here. If I show you, it just uses curves to make it. I'm not going to teach you how to use curves. You can figure that out through some tutorials I've linked before. Now, if I duplicate this, I'm going to export this as an object. Right. So now I've got 3 bits for my knot. So I'm going to import my top first. It's my top. Now I'm going to import my knot. It's going to be 10 times too big. Right, now I'm just going to figure out which to rotate it and then scale it. Place it kind of where you want it. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to delete these bits. Do the same on this side. So I'm kind of left with only the knot part, which is my goal. Because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to import my 2 little end bits. And I'm going to, they're obviously also too big, so I'm going to scale these down, and I'm going to move them so that it looks like they're coming from inside the knot. This usually needs a bit of fiddling. I can't say I've done it before, so bear with me. There we go, that bit. Kind of like that, to make it kind of look like you've got a knotted bit there. This is pretty much the only way I know how to get something that even looks remotely like a knot. If you find a better way, please make a tutorial, because I've been trying to make knots and it just doesn't work. But yeah, this is pretty much my idea. Then bows. Bows, the easiest way. Let's just open some kind of project. Okay, if I want to make a bow, then there's two bows. There's the bows that are like fancy bows, and then there's just normal ribbon bows. So for normal ribbon bows, what I do is I use the internal line, and I draw a line, and then right nearly next to it, I draw another line, and then I draw like a slight diagonal line, and a slightly diagonal line. And now I'm going to make a long piece, and I'm going to sew one end of it to one of my inner lines and the other end of it to the same inner line so that it folds over. And again, I'm going to set this as layer 1, and just for the sake of it, I usually end up freezing everything else. Right, so you've got kind of a bow thing there. Depending how long and wide you want it, you'll need to scale it. And then what I usually do is I change this particle distance to like 10 so that it looks kind of round, and change it to quad. Obviously place it somehow how you want it. I want it a bit shorter. And then usually when I'm kind of happy with it, I'll freeze it. And then copy, paste. This one you can unfreeze because you don't need to place it. And all you're going to do is sew this one to the other internal line, both ends. Put this one to the side. If it decides to go inside out, that's not that big of a deal, because you can flip the normals in Blender. Okay. If it's messing around, just move that line outside a bit more. And freeze it. Though what I've also found, just unfreeze these two, what helps is to one, make these lines shorter to kind of bunch the bow in the middle. To also help with that, you can select the corners and turn on elastic. See, that does it. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, then you need to make just longer ribbons that you'll attach to the diagonal bits. Now I've got to make my diagonal bit shorter too. Obviously shape these bits however you want them to be. Like, don't leave them like this. This is me just doing it really fast. And duplicate this. And sew it onto that side. Usually smart to freeze the other pieces while you're doing that. Right, and if you're kind of happy with how that looks, then if this is the top you want it on, leave it. I want it on a different top, so usually just delete all the top parts and then export this. Obviously, spend some time actually making it look pretty. Export it. And what you can do now is you can say import. There we go, there's our bow. Now what I like to do is I like to say create, and I'll take a torus and I'll scale it real small. I'll make it smooth. And then I'll rotate it. Scale it Y, scale it X, scale it generally. And I'll try and fit it kind of in the middle. Sometimes I have to rotate it a bit. But just to kind of make it have like a loop bit in the middle. You might need to obviously make your bow parts be further apart in MD for this to work properly. But yeah, this is like the low resolution, low poly count way of doing a bow. And when you like it, just join it up, and then in Blender you can move the bow to wherever you want it. Right. I'll link you to another tutorial on how to make a fancy bow. Beware, these are high poly, but I guess once you make a bow you can do this and literally just move it in Blender to fit onto any object you want. So yeah, that's pretty much just the simple basics of how to make a couple of things.